for the best grooming cutters for you, for you. Dress on natural and handcrafted too. We wanna help be your swagger, style, class, and luxury. Make our products tailor-made for you with high quality, yeah. So get in style with the black to the black, yeah. Company, swagger, style, class, and luxury, yeah. Black, gentleman, black, yeah. Company, swagger, style, class, and luxury, yeah.
Located at www.theblackgent.com.
Yo. What's good? Stormybman, and I am back. Welcoming you to Answering the Bell with Stormybman, our Sunday morning call in for this Sunday, October 20th, 2024. This is number 139 in the series of call-ins as we venture out on a Sunday morning into a Sunday afternoon with boxing conversation as we review, revisit, discuss the previous affairs of the sport with a look ahead to what may be next. And this day is no different, as we had a PBC on Amazon Prime live boxing broadcast yesterday, where we had a triple header card that really entertained us. I mean, kind of like no other PBC broadcast had prior for a long time. And I was thoroughly entertained, as many of you. We really look forward to when boxing can put on more 50-50 type matches where we can enjoy the competitiveness of battle, to see fighters dig deep to try to solve or resolve circumstances that they are presented with when they enter that ring and the bell rings. It's an interesting sport to view as men are asked questions of themselves, regardless of their training or pedigree, that they have to figure it out. They have to get through the difficulties. And that was on display in last night's card more than at any other time in recent memory for PBC broadcasts. So that was something really exciting. I want to say salute and shout out to the matchmakers of last night's affairs, because they gave us something that, even though we think we know what we want and we crave, we often give our opinion, sometimes not requested, of what we get when we don't like. But Tom Brown, Whitfield Hayden, Melvin Rivas, and Joseph Rolanda all were contributors to last night's affairs out of Orlando, Florida. The promoter was Tom Brown, Kathy Duva, Leon Margulis, Amari Piedra, George Rose, and Matt Rose. A well put together card. Now, there may have been fighters on that card that certain promoters and managers, it didn't go their way. Let's just put it that way. But my goodness, let me tip my hat to you all for what you put together in last night's show. So, welcome everybody out there. Please smash the like button on your way into the building. We are on a subscription drive toward 8K on the Stormybman channel. We should have long since been beyond 8K, but that's okay. We will take things as they come. But just a reminder that we are on the move. And with that being said, that was the commercial broadcast that was in the opening here of the show. And it'll also be put in the videos that this is what a goal. Before the end of the year, we want to try to do that. And to be a part of the process to help things move along quickly, donations are accepted to the channel by way of PayPal and Cash App presently. If the donations come through during the broadcast of a live stream, you will be mentioned for bringing the support. And just know that we are doing what we do with the purpose of trying to bring the most of quality content to the airwaves. It's not always easy to do because people are heavily opinionated in our present society, and a lot of the content that I produce here is usually founded in some type of presentation of history, experience, knowledge, and also selected opinion of both myself and the audience that participate in the show. This is how we do things around here. One of the things that we do not do is have any level of tolerance for foolishness here. There are plenty people who want to bring foolishness, and with no tolerance for that, just know that I rely upon my wrenches. When I give wrenches out for the Stormybman channel, they are given out for a reason, and that is to help sustain the level of quality that we try to produce here. If my wrenches are not up to snuff, then I have to make adjustments as to how the wrenches are utilized on the channel. So it is a reminder that if you're here, you should be here with purpose, just like I'm here with purpose. I get up and get myself prepared for these shows in the morning. I do the things that I do just like I prepare myself for work, because this is work, and I do it with spirit. I have no vengeance or vendetta whatsoever, but I will not allow anyone to come to my home and be disrespectful, just as no one else who takes pride in what they have acquired and accumulated should do and allow someone to just come in your stead and just kind of like have their way. There was once a requirement: you remove your hat when you step into an establishment. You wipe your feet before you step into someone's home. Now people just believe that it's okay to come as you are. I'm from the era of when they used to put the sign on the doors outside of an establishment that said, no shoes, no shirt, no service. They don't do that anymore. And so now you have what you see when you go to Walmart. And some people come out barely clad, showing you everything that they came into the world with, even though it's not for your eyes to see. And there is no shame. Well, I'm from the era of making certain that shame is pointed out. So just as I have come through here this morning for you all, someone else has decided to come in early and be a distraction. One comment was not enough. Two was too many. And then when it got to the third, I needed to be heard. But my wrenches, who have been here bright and early, did not support me. And with that, I'm very disappointed in you, because you have wrenches for a reason. This is not speak from an OG. This is speak from me, Stormy B. So why are you here? I'm already on 50, almost 60 something views to this show, this broadcast this morning, with only 15 likes. And it's more than 15 wrenches out there. So what the hell are you here for? Can someone answer that for me in the chat? If you think that I am going to do a roll call of people who are non-supportive, people who don't have my back, people who are not aligned trying to get to where I'm trying to go, what is it for? Someone explain that to me. I'm waiting for an answer. And any of you who have been around for any length of time know I can shut it down just like closing the door in somebody's face. So if you don't want to do that, I don't have to do this. And I'm speaking to each and every one of you. And still I wait. Well, Shower, at least you can respond to my request for someone give some type of aligning explanation, because there are others here who are not responding at all, which leads me to understand that what I stated a moment ago is very true. I have no idea why I am doing this for you, because people are just here. I don't care to deal with sheeple. I care to deal with people, to have interaction, interpolation, reciprocated interactivity. I am not for the brainless. Five minutes and I still haven't had a response. 5 fucking minutes.
As you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out.
Delano Layman, you are a part of the bull crap this morning, because ever since you come in with your Tim Zoo comment, you opted to not even respond to anything else that I have said. So for you to come in and say, sorry, the bull crap this morning, are you sorry for the bull crap that you're contributing? Champion Heart, that happens on the road. I'm understanding of that. But as I listen to my playback feed in my ear, I hear no distortions or anything whatsoever. So if it doesn't apply, then you're not the guy. You see? But though there are those out here who know who I'm talking to, and there are too many people in the chat that are in blue who I haven't heard from. And I'm not talking about greeting me, saying good morning. I had a troll in here, just like everyone else, bright and early, and no one made a move to do anything about it. And I want to know why. I had to take care of it. See, you all are the same ones that go to different channels and keep the bullshit going back and forth between what's out there, and then you bring it back around here. Yes, this is an LDBC channel, but this LDBC channel stands for no fuckery whatsoever. A half fucking hour in, and I can't get anybody to stand on any merit. See, that's what happens when there's no accountability and people don't hold you accountable. Yeah. Feel free to make any future replies under the Q&A. The show will run its limit, the normal time that I am on, that I air. But I need answers to that question, to anyone that dares to be here. And understand this, the remarks will be recorded. Delano Layman, once again, that's bullshit coming from you. I have never received one notification that you have spread anything that I have created on these airwaves. None of my lives, none of my videos. Because what you may not realize, or maybe you do and you still don't do it, that when you do share my video, my live stream or content, I get a notification about it. So if you're talking about spreading for yourself, then maybe you're spreading the bullshit, because there has been no notification about you spreading my content. So who do you think you're talking to? Kamir and Fields, I am apologetic to yourself because I come in here today to just people who are here, but they're checked out. And I'm sick of it. I address what needs to be addressed, because it's appropriate. It's time for people to make and take stances and stop falling amongst the rocks to be walked upon. Stand up and be accounted for. What I go through to produce content, you all don't give a damn. You're showing me all the time. You won't even hit the damn like button. But you are here. And I asked in the question there, why the fuck are you here? What are you here for? No, boxing and barbecue, you don't let it be, because that's how things get out of control. When they were saying, oh, they not bothering nobody being over there acting all feminine and everything. They don't bother me, so let them be. Next thing you know, your son, your nephew, your grandson, somebody tickling around on them, and now they want to act like fairies too. But when people held them accountable and said, straighten up, walk right with like a man, behave like a man. Yeah, they had to deal inwardly with the harshness of that, but they were men. When you become complacent and you don't hold people accountable, next thing you know, it's at your doorstep or has crossed the threshold of your home. If it's a fire blazing up the road If you're living out in the country and it's taking out the forest, isn't it soon going to get to your place? Are you going to wait for it, or are you going to take action and extinguish the threat? Boxing and Barbecue, do you know what spamming a chat is? Do you know what spamming a chat is? And I am waiting for an answer to that, because if you don't know, I'll explain it. But I like to hear an answer, because just like I've asked many questions this morning, we're going on 40 minutes now. I've gotten very little response. But 100 people watching this damn broadcast. Okay, well, I was being spammed from the moment that I went live. I went live and I had 6 wrenches in here who did nothing. Nothing. So as my show is beginning, I have to, behind the scenes, start dealing with the spammer. But people got wrenches. People who say they rock with Stormybman know what I feel about that kind of foolishness, because I like to get to my content, which I haven't gotten to today yet. 40 fucking minutes in, and I haven't got to my content because of the bullshit. No one took an action. So I posed the question, why the fuck are you here? What are you here for? What? You can go other places. There are bigger channels than mine that talk boxing. They may talk boxing out the rear end, but they talk it. So why not go there? What are you here for? I'm just a little minuscule channel because of you. Because you don't hit the like button, because you don't support, because you don't share, because you don't subscribe. So I'm trying to figure it out. I do not go places and entertain spaces where I feel uncomfortable, don't like, and refuse to participate. So what would I be there for? I look like a fucking idiot. No, Boxing and Barbecue, it was more than one message. It was like, look at me, I'm here, I'm trying to get your attention. Well, they got my attention in the wrong way. I keep telling you guys, it's just like a professor in a lecture hall. They're giving a conversation and someone comes in and wants to talk about the Transformers. You don't do that. Time is money. I have subscribers who have paid for memberships and joined my other accounts like Patreon. And I work very hard for these people. Real staunch supporters. And it's a shame to see that Cash Apps and PayPal donations, they come from the same people all the time. And God bless them. I love them for their support. But there are so many others that I see out here just watching me, and they'll leave here and go somewhere else and just kind of like make it rain. And I'm like, sometimes what they making it rain for, it's not even the same quality that of what I present over here. So I'm trying to understand, like, what are you over here for? I don't understand that. In the movie The Dark Knight, the Joker met with the Council of Baddies in the back kitchen, and he proposed that they are all there for the same reason, the Batman. And he made a proposal to them and said, we're all dealing with the same circumstances, so I have a solution. And then they asked, what's your plan? He said, kill the Batman. And they all chuckled and laughed. And they said, well, yeah, that's obvious. Well, why don't you just do it? And the Joker responded, because when you're good at something, never do it for free. Can you see me? And Shower, of course, I know that about you. I've actually seen you share content. I've actually seen you show support. I've actually seen you interact with the chat and engage in the conversations and have rebuttals to what you're hearing and things of that nature, which is why I say for people like yourself, what I'm talking about does not apply to you. It does not. And I love the fact that I have a supporter as yourself. And that's the difference. That's what I'm trying to point out, because I'm starting to recognize who is really true and who is not. Oh, yes, Chameleon. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. But you see, just after Chameleon left her message, you see that one that follows right behind it? You see that? This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. A former LDBC cult member. If you're former, why are you here? You find this entertaining to you? Then there's something seriously wrong with you, because what's happening here is holding those accountable to be elevated, you see? And that's the thing. You are a low-brow, low-existing entity coming around here when you are former. You should be going on about your business. Why are you looking backwards? Oh, I know why you're looking backwards, huh? Let me show you guys why he's looking backwards, huh? It's easy to understand when you see it like this. Peep the screen, people. Peep the screen. former LDBC cult member. Yeah, that's why he's looking back. And you got to come in here under a different account because you've probably been blocked already, huh? Excavated, huh? But you're coming around here. Why? Are you digging in the trash can according to your own thoughts? Absolutely not, huh? You're trying to reach and gain some type of semblance of understanding, but you have no comprehension. So therefore, you're stuck in the phantom zone.
As you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out. And also, if you stay down here and you never fuck around, you'll never find out.
There's a reason. Absolutely, Shower. It's like, when you go to the toilet, huh? You don't worry about where what's been extracted goes, huh? You're not trying to track and follow it through the plumbing, are you? Huh? You get on up and take care of your business and you go on about your day, right? Yeah, absolutely. And I use the toilet reference that some people may say, well, that's kind of foul and that's not necessary. It is necessary because we're dealing with poo all the time with these folks, huh? Like the former LDBC cult member. Yeah, like people like that. Jonathan Davis, much appreciated. The only thing is that it's not so much about unfiltered thoughts. It's about genuine and understanding and experience. But it's hard to break through when you have a mountain of foolishness out there. That's why McDonald's drive-through is full of cars every day. When people can eat better, but they go there. Huh? Yeah. And science has shown you what McDonald's do to you. Huh? Chemicals and everything. They show you. The same money you spend on a couple of meals for the family, you could go to the grocery store, huh? And buy meat and bread, huh? And condiments and feed each other for a week or at least a few days. Why do people rise up out of the bed, pass a coffee maker in their kitchen and go to Starbucks? So Stormybman is like that boxing encyclopedia on your shelf, huh? But you'll forget about that and go turn on YouTube and listen to some foolery. And Jonathan Davis, that's why the window is closing. The curtain is drawing. And they don't see it. But when the door slams shut, that's it. Noah was telling people he was building an ark because it's going to rain. And they were looking at the sunny skies and the cool breeze, and they were saying, "Oh man, you're a fool." Huh? But God told him to do what he did. And an umbrella didn't mean a damn thing, did it? Does anyone out here know what the Leviathan is? Does anyone know? Mr. Shelton, write that in the question and answer. Write it in the Q&A if you think you know the who that is. No, Jonathan Davis, they won't learn. You know why? Because if you listen to the teachings, that they will have become lovers of self, and their hearts will turn cold toward truth and reprobate, which means to reject or refuse sensibility. Now think about the things that I've been saying. Doesn't that seemingly align? Absolutely it does, which is why I am in a position to speak on this, because it is not necessarily me. I am a vessel that is being used to channel a certain amount of truth, because you need to hear it. You see the ignorant statement of, I love when you go out and go against your supporters. I wasn't going against my supporters. Never have. I have acknowledged my supporters. But guess what else I have acknowledged? The false flaggers, The ones who try to cozy up around you and pretend that they're your friend. I speak on those because it has to be done. Some of them, they're thicker than blood. Yeah, some of them are down. They give you the impression they're your running mate. Wasn't Kamala Biden's running mate? Wasn't she his vice? And look at their relationship now. You see how they at each other just all catty and nasty? You see what I'm saying? And these are people who were running your country. Think about that for a moment. And then think about this other stuff of what I'm telling you. So you got a former LDBC cult member. Now, I've never been a part of that. Huh? Cult? Nah. But the way you interpret, the way you receive it, the way you interact it and interplay, how you represent. I've never misrepresented, at all. Never. See, Shawa said earlier in a comment, you're not a man or a woman doing that ish. Yeah, you're not. Mr. Shelton, you still out there? Anyway, seeing that I won't get much support for the rest of my show, I'll talk about the undercard from last night's bout. Yeah, that's what I'll elect to do. I'll talk about the undercard from last night's bout. In the opening fight of the night, a middleweight, it was a middleweight fight that took place between Caesar, Mateo Tapia, and Indri how do you pronounce that kid's name? You know, they come up with these names, man. And Saavedra? Okay, I'll say Saavedra. These two men were middleweights that faced off last night in the opening of Amazon Prime's fight card for PBC. I did not know either man. But word had it that Saavedra, who is from Venezuela, is now fighting out of Mexico. And he brought a record in of 16-0 with 1 draw, but 13 KOs. He's 33 years of age, nicknamed El Chino. But he's a fighter who gets people out of there. He has an aggressive style. He's 5'10 and a half with a 74-inch reach. And he also has a sturdy chin. There is no one that's on his record of the 16 victories that you could take note of. And last night's fight ended in a draw, of course, a split decision draw. A majority decision draw, excuse me. But these two men faced off against one another and fought as if there was no love lost. A 10-round fight, and his opponent, Cesar Mateo Tapia, was also touted as a fighter of note. He brought a record of 17-0 with 10 KOs in. He's 26 years of age. His nickname, El Tijuanero, and he is Australian, and he was born in Mexico. So these are men who were supplanted from their origins. But my goodness, if they don't both fight like Mexicans, because they were rapping and bopping each other throughout the 10 rounds. It was a very entertaining fight. My brother Drew Titan, as he, was coming in on the Tim Tszyu fight against Bakram, I said, man, are you watching this? Because the 3 fights in a totality were great, but he was coming in from work as the Tszyu fight was in the second round. But I told him, I said, man, you got to go back and watch this first fight. Tapia versus Severa, man. Listen, a great battle, especially for people who want to see something. When you tune into boxing, as whomever you happen to be, you like what you like, right? So I'm not even asking you what you like, but tuning into this fight regardless of what you like, you had to love what you were seeing. These two men were, my goodness, and they were throwing some leather. Listen, Tapia's punches, you could hear them resonate. And it looked like Severa's punches were slow and kind of getting there, you know. But it's obvious that the man was heavy-handed as you know what, because when they landed, Tapia's legs and his chin would buckle. It was it was the funniest thing because Tapia was the speedier of the guy. He's the younger at 26. He's 6'0" with 73-inch reach. So, but his punches were popping. They were doing damage. And what I noticed was they were both at that level where they should be fighting, because both men were not necessarily shoulders above the other, but they were vulnerable enough to bring out the best of one another. I had Tapia taking the first round. I had Saavedra taking the second round. And then in the third round, Saavedra landed a series of shots that put Tapia in trouble and put him on the canvas. And then he put him down a second time. I'm like, man, this is, but it wasn't like he was dominating Tapia. It's just that they were giving back and forth to one another to the degree that you had to take note of the action. And this was like really, really interesting stuff. I really enjoyed this fight, you guys. This fight was the type of fight that even if you're not a boxing fan, you'll sit there and watch it because of what the guys are doing to each other. And I often talk about ebb and flow, back and forth. What's, to be said about men who can rise to a challenge and go forward in a entertaining, engaging manner. That's what these guys did. Very good fight, man. Very good fight. And the fact they called it a draw lets you know how close the battle was, because when you look at it at the end of the day, Tapia hit the canvas 3 times. And in the 5th round, Saavedra hit the canvas. So it was like these men were like back and forth, man. Great fight and engaging. If they were to fight each other again, I would definitely tune in for a rematch. Tapia is a good fighter, though, Shower. It's just that these two guys, their styles were a good blend for one another. And just like Drew and I were talking about last night, it's not about whose physical prowess is best, skill set. No, it's about who's smarter. And I don't think that at the end of the day, Tapia fought very smart last night. See, sometimes you could get drawn into the fact that you could land your shots on a guy. But that, you know, sometimes guys will let you hit them so they could get to you. Don't be, you know, so gung-ho, oh, I can nail him, I'm going to go kill him. Set a guy up with something. Okay, I can land this. Let me try some of this. Let me try some of that. And then boom, drop something on him and he don't see it and know it's coming. And that's how you get him. But no, the old adage is a wounded animal can be a dangerous animal. You know, that's very important to realize. But man, did these guys have a knockdown drag out. That was truly what that was last night. And then you had a Ronnie Shields protege in Yoenis Tellis from Cuba taking on Johan Gonzalez, another Venezuelan fighter. Another very good fight. And Yoenis is a young Cuban fighter who can punch, but he's out of the Cuban school of boxing, and he can fight orthodox and southpaw. Johan came in with an experienced record of 35-2. And he was a noted guy who could punch with 34 KOs, 33 years of age, but we had not seen him in against a lot of strong guys, with the exception of he fought Jesus Ramos back in May, and he was stopped in 9 rounds by Ramos. But he can battle, he can scrap. And at the age of 33, they figured that putting Yoenis in there with him, he can learn something from him. He can learn a little bit of the craft, the science. Because a lot of times you don't just want to be putting your guy in just so he can knock people out. You want to put him in where he's learning something. So the fight started out, Yoenis was boxing from southpaw early on, and he went to orthodox. And after the first round, Ronnie told him, I want you to stay orthodox. Don't go back to southpaw. And he listened to his corner. And he began to fight much better out of the southpaw stance. He put his punches together fairly well as well. He began to throw combinations to the body and get on top of Gonzalez in a manner which made a difference in the bout. I like to see fighters who can adjust like this. And Yoenis, the fight started out, it wasn't easy because he was in there with a very experienced fighter. And like I said, he brought his record of 8-0 with 6 KOs in there. And, you know, for a young fighter, 24 years of age, that's not something to just kind of like dismiss easily because of the fighter he fought. 35 wins. That's a lot of fights. Yoenis came in, like I said, he was 8-0 with 6 KOs. Kind of like Big Frage, who fought, you know, Fabio Wardley. So this kid really has something, you guys. He has something, and you got to keep your eye on him. Keep your eye on him. These super welterweights, oh my goodness, man. That division is laden with talent. It's a lot going on. Yeah, Shower, and Ronnie Shields is working, man. You could see Ronnie developing these young fighters. He doesn't get enough credit for what he does with fighters. I don't know what the bias is about Ronnie as far as when you want to mention the top trainers in the sport of today. I think a lot of it is because Ronnie is a no-nonsense guy. He's not going to let this new wave and era of fighters come and dictate to him, as he's a veteran coach and he's very old school in his indoctrinations. And he's not going to let these young guys kind of tell him how he's going to handle their careers. They're either going to dance to his song or they're going to move on. It's as simple as that with Ronnie. And I respect that 1,000%. So Yoenis came in there, man, and he got a breakthrough in that 6th round when he dropped Gonzalez, who really didn't he didn't look like he expected that to happen. But once it did happen, he realized, oh, this young kid got something. And in the 7th round, he stopped him. Put him down on the canvas a couple more times. But I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed that fight. It was a co-main event before Bakram and Tim Tszyu, and it was very entertaining. Again, if you don't watch and study the sport of boxing, what happens is when certain things transpire, you look at it and you're like, oh, he knocked him out and this and that. But learn what you're looking at. Learn the styles. Excuse me, I'm tongue-tied. Learn the styles and skill sets, because what will happen is certain things will become very familiar to you, and other things that are unfamiliar will happen to take hold and give you a different position or a different take on how to view a boxing match that's taking place. And that's what I noticed about when I was watching Bivol fight Beterbiev last week, and I spoke about that, how things began to play out, and I saw boxing in a different light when I was watching that fight. When I watched last night, I saw the strengths of a fighter like Yoenis Tellis as he made an adjustment during this fight, because at first he was just kind of jabbing and playing that game of back and forth with Gonzalez until he started going to the body like he's supposed to. And one of the wonderful things he was doing, you have to watch the fight again for yourself to catch this. As Gonzalez was throwing certain shots, he was countering Gonzalez's shots by punching with him in the body. One of the most debilitating punches that you could take is a counter shot while you're throwing a shot, because you exhale when you punch. You're taught to exhale, breathe out when you throw your shots. So when you breathe out and you get hit at the same time, that knocks extra breath out of your body. It's a very debilitating thing to do. Julio Cesar Chavez was a master of that, which is why he got guys with body punches so much. People think that, oh, he's a great body puncher, but timing on the body shots, hitting a guy while he's punching too. Tellis was doing that to Gonzalez. Early in the fight, Gonzalez was exchanging shots with him and punching and had this little sly grin on his face. After the body punches started landing, that grin went away. Go back and watch it for yourself. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So he was able to get to him in that manner. And those counter shots were like very debilitating. And that little muscular guy in Johan Gonzalez, he began to take those body shots and he was like, oh. Sometimes those shots like that, man, they're hard to come back from. And Tellis did a great thing in those kind of, and he took them apart and took out a veteran fighter who had 30 more fights than he. Think about that. That was a heck of a win. You can't get some of the contending fighters in the sport today to fight a guy like Johan Gonzalez because of his experience. They don't want that guy. Yeah, he's got 5 losses on his record now, or 3 losses, excuse me. But he's a dangerous guy because he has experience. And here they took a 24-year-old fighter from Cuba with 8 bouts under his belt, and he took that man to school. Great stuff. Great stuff. So, well, listen, Shower, the one thing that you could say, even in that remark, everything else falls under that last portion of your remark. He listened to Ronnie. Because, see, Ronnie is going to tell him what he needs to know. He's not going to give him extra stuff. He's not going to give him fluff. Ronnie's going to cut to the chase and give him the information that he needs. The boy, and I call him boy because he's young enough to be a son, right? But that's not out of disrespect. So please don't nobody think or take that. But the boy was attentive. And when you have a fighter who's talented and attentive to what a coach and trainer is trying to give him, and he tries to apply it, the success that comes with that is gratifying, because when they're able to listen and do what they need to do to apply, that's, you know, it's like a teacher giving you something to study for an exam. And then here you are, you turn in your exam and you score 100. You have no idea how much elation the teacher has for you not only studying for the exam, but you took and applied what he offered that was going to be a part of the exam, and you aced it. They may not tell you this all the time because they don't want your head to get too big. They don't want you to get too beyond yourself that you stop listening. But that warms a teacher's heart that a student just absorbed what they were trying to give them and to see the successes behind it. That's tremendously gratifying. And I'm certain Ronnie felt that with this young man listening to him like that. And like I said, you guys, he's 24 years old. He doesn't even have 10 fights under his belt yet. Now, is he ready for the guy that was in the main event? Absolutely not. But the gap will close very quickly being under the tutelage of a trainer like Ronnie Shields, as long as he is receptive and continues to be open to learning. That's the thing right there. As long as he continues to be open to learning, the sky is the limit there for this young man. The sky is the limit. I love this, man. I love the sport when you can see it play out like that. And I'm going to tell people, just because Johan Gonzalez got stopped by this kid, don't run in there thinking that give me Gonzalez, okay? Because Gonzalez is a good fighter. He's a good fighter. And that whole thing about countering a guy to the body, he's throwing punches at you and you're punching at his body. Man, I've seen so many fighters get caught with shots like that and get knocked out because they exhale when they punch and they get hit in the body at the same time and they go down and they can't breathe. So they don't beat the count. It's a great punch. It's usually a punch that you could deliver to the solar plexus or the floating rib, just under the elbow or the liver. And when you catch them in a point of vulnerability like that, they usually go. And they don't have enough time to recover. Because you need about a minute to get your breath back. You win. It happens in football all the time. Guys fall and get tackled on that ball and it knocks the air out your body, and you see a guy laying there and they be like, oh, so-and-so's hurt. They got to come and bring him off the field. He just got the wind knocked out of him. And then, when he goes and sit down on the sidelines for a play or two, he can come back in the game. As you getting tackled and falling on that ball is one of the worst feelings in the world. One of the worst feelings in the world. I heard it said, I listened to a couple of people give their thoughts on the main event. Murtazaliev against Zhu. And some people were downing Zhu. I even heard like his punch resistance is gone and things of that nature, but that's when you don't know who Murtazaliev is, because I have watched film on Murtazaliev and he was doing everybody that he faced like he did Tim Tszyu. But the only thing is Tim Tszyu was his first step up fight. When guys can do that and they do it against the top fighters in the sport, there's nothing left to say, but they're there. They have arrived. That man can do that to a lot of people in the sport, in that weight division. And this is another reason why you have to study up. Haven't you heard a lot of these young fighters today say, I don't watch film, I let my coaches take care of that? Well, you better start watching some damn film, because if you don't watch film, what will happen is you will rob yourself of the opportunities to be more alert to what you're facing. I don't need to watch 4 or 5 knockouts to know that, okay, the guy has power, he delivers it a certain kind of way. I have to be mindful of head movement and how to hold my hands during this fight, and to, be able to protect myself. But it's okay, because we see fighters out here not taking care of themselves, not doing the things that they need to do to show a completeness about themselves. No, you know what, Shower, and again, listen, if you heard me on my post-fight last night with Drew, I give Tim a lot of credit. I don't ridicule him for taking that fight. What Bakram did in his performance, he made a believer out of Tim. They knew, it's just that Tim was trying to get that IBF belt. He lost the WBO in the Fundora fight. This was an opportunity for him to get right back in the championship contention, and he took it. But in order to be successful against a guy like Murtazaliev, you have to bring more than just a toughness or my punch is stronger than yours. You have to understand, first of all, I'm going to incur some punishment here, but I got to be able to protect myself and survive early so that I can impose my game plan and try to get him later. But you don't want to try to open it up, which was what, if you go back and watch the fight, Bakram hit him with a couple of shots in that first round, and Tim immediately tried to fight back and show, I'm tough too. That wasn't the thing to do necessarily, hindsight being 2020. And I say hindsight being 2020 because naturally that's your way to react, but it should have made him box more. It should have made him think, let me take care of myself better, more. Let me move my head, and things of that nature, which did not happen. But see, it's no different than AJ wanting an immediate rematch with Daniel Dubois. Why? Dude, he annihilated you. He's going to annihilate you even worse the second time around. I don't care if you called the ghost of Freddie Roach, the ghost of Eddie Futch, if you call the ghost of Emmanuel Stewart, it ain't going to help you. He has a trainer that AJ used originally in Don Charles, who knows all of AJ's weaknesses, all of his deficiencies, what he's not good at, what he's not confident about. This man knows AJ. And he's now working with Daniel Dubois, so he can teach and instill certain aspects of what to prepare for against AJ that is really going to strip him. And now they got film of him naturally knocking AJ out. No, you don't want to run right back into that burning house. I want to salute. There's a customer out there by the name of Linton Porter who bought 2 of the Stormybman beanies from the new merchandise at A Weapons website. Salute to that brother for your purchase. Thank you so much for supporting the brand. Linton Porter, thank you so much. Salute to A Weapons. I got the message a little earlier, but I was trying to admonish what was happening with the show and everything. So yeah. I'm laughing at Shower's comments about AJ and his trainer. Jimmy Bernard, what's happening with you? Yeah. Well, see, what happened with that, Shower, is that and I blame Ed Hearn for that, because he carved out a great path for AJ to make a lot of money off of him and with him, and without the highest risks. But what has happened is the division has caught up and they've gotten better. You know, there was a period where the heavyweights, you only had a couple of guys at the top. You had AJ at the top, Fury and Wilder, and the rest of the guys were kind of like falling off, right? Well, you know, Wilder and Fury fought each other, but AJ hasn't fought either of those two guys. So it's like AJ has been feasting on everybody else, right? Including the likes of former champions Andy Ruiz Jr. and Joseph Parker. So when you start looking at it, it's like AJ had a real easy go for a long time. And I had said this a while back. AJ is going to mess around because he's not fighting competitive fights. He's fighting guys on paper he's supposed to beat. He's going to mess around and these other young fighters are going to catch up to him. They're going to get better. And look what happened. One of the main ones from his country, Daniel Dubois, is now the man. And he can fight. He can knock people out. It's not like he's just a good boxer and you might get him with a puncher or something. He can punch. So if he get into a knockdown drag out, he could get you every bit as well as somebody think they could get him. Yeah, that's what happens when you mess around. And I told Boxing and Barbecue this earlier. When something's happening down over there and you don't worry about it, right? Oh, it's over there. Don't worry. No, what's going to happen is going to get to you. And next thing you know, your house on fire. Huh? Yeah. Now, that's going to take a smooth boxer who could take a good punch, give a decent punch. He ain't got to be a great knockout guy, but he's got to be able to take a shot good and be able to box and everything to beat Daniel Dubois. That's what that's going to take. And if you ask me, he done already knocked out Usyk, right? Fury, no punch resistance. If you want to talk about a guy who don't have punch resistance, it's him. And if he ain't taking them extra things, you know what I'm saying? He really gonna get got. So when you think about Fury, right? What do you know about him? Huh? I'll tell you what I know about it. Huh? Yeah. Huh? Yeah. That's what I think about Fury. Yes, I would have did it already. Shower said don't do it. I had to, Shower. I had to let it go. I had to let it rip. Man. Yeah. How about that? Yeah. That's right. Daniel can take punches as well and dole out the damage. Yeah. And he listens to his coach. Listen. Didn't I just say that about Tellis and you know the difference that it makes when a guy partakes in what he's receiving from his mentor. You know, it's very important. I want to salute Cameron. Man, excuse me. I want to salute Cameron out there for also becoming a Patreon member. Thank you so much for signing up as a member of the Patreon, Camara. Thank you. Camarian. I'm sorry I'm mispronouncing your name. Thank you so much. People are coming over to the Patreon showing support. I really, you know, I can't thank you guys enough. Yeah, there'll be a lot of more of my content that'll get transferred over to the it'll get transferred over to Patreon. You know, I found out that YouTube doesn't really want to support Stormybman, but that's okay because we have options. And when you have options, you can make moves. And when you can't make moves, you can gain momentum. And when you gain momentum, you can knock down what's in front of you. Yeah! Now, Shower, since you seem to be my number one interaction party here on the channel and in this chat specifically today, I'm going to share this directly to you. Skip everybody else because everybody else doesn't do that, and it's like it's unfortunate because I think of you all the same, but it's just that I don't get the same from you all. Shower, can you tell me how many likes that you see presently on your screen? You can write it in the chat. How many likes that you can see on your screen? $43? Okay. I only see 42, which is interesting. So you see 43. Check this out, Shower. As of presently, almost 250 views of the content. Yeah, 200. Yeah, that's only because I asked you, Shower. That's only because I asked you that those numbers jumped up a couple. It was 42 when I asked you. But yeah, 250 views with an average view duration of almost 9 minutes to the broadcast. So this shows you what I tell you is not incorrect about people tuning into this channel. And you know the first hour of the show, what I was on, and rightfully so. But eventually I got around to talking about some boxing, right? But with almost 300 people, and it's not like I'm just a show that popped up, and I didn't put any boxing title in there, did I? I didn't put Tim Tszyu gets knocked out or anything in the title. It's Answering the Bell with Stormybman, number 139, our call-in show, which I didn't open the call-in lines today, purposely. I did not. But, so you're talking about 300 people who know who Stormybman is. Maybe out of the 300, you might get a small percentage, maybe 3% or 5%, who really don't know who I am. But that other 85, 90%, they know. But only 44 likes. Now, do you see why I said what I said earlier? And do you see why it drew the ire of someone like the former LDBC cult member who decided to come out and pull his pants down in front of everybody, huh? Only to be kicked in the rear end of it. And he can go back to being former and a cult member, and he can go with shoes in his ass, huh? Because this ain't for people like that. It's not. It's not. Now imagine the numbers of those who can watch without giving you a view, because that's out there too. People who can watch you without giving you a view. It exists. It exists. Yeah, that's the one thing. They won't stop me, but I still will voice, because being able to voice it makes it where it's released into the universe. And those who want to continue to perpetuate the circumstances of what's being released out there, that lets you know how far off of being on the level they are. And if you want to continue walking around with your shoes on the wrong feet and your pants wearing backwards and your shirts button up backwards and things of that nature, do that. But understand that I'm going to talk about how foolish it is as well. And then I'll move on. Yeah, because I can. I don't choose to be ignorant. Yep. Well, with that, we're going to hear from my man, the focus ball, huh?
Get ready to take your striking game to the next level with the focus ball. Dramatically improve footwork, timing, head movement, hand-eye coordination, reflex, and overall fight IQ. It's lightweight and extremely portable, so you can train every time, everywhere. When you don't have a coach to do mitt work, get a focus ball. When you don't have a heavy bag to hit, get a focus ball. When you don't have a sparring partner, get yourself a focus ball. And when you just want to have fun punching and kicking, get a focus ball. When you train with the focus ball, you train your eyes and your brain to read punches so that you can hit and not get hit. Making this very simple device a must-have for all combat sports athletes and enthusiasts alike. So if you want to take your striking game to the next level, don't wait. Get the focus ball now.
Yeah. So those are the commercial ads, the Focus Ball, and Streamlabs merchandise, as well as the Shopify A-Weapons merchandise. Everything is available by the links in the description box. Appreciate Shower putting those links in the chat throughout the show. But this is what we're trying to do over here. We're trying to grow. We had a customer buy some merchandise from the Shopify, and we appreciate that support. And we hope that you enjoy your purchases. But that's what we're about over here. Elevation. Speak about it often. But many people try to pull you down into the dumpster. And we're just not going, huh? We're not going. But thank you everybody that supported properly for this morning's show, and for the Cash App donations. And we are on our way. The goal is 8K before the end of the year. It can be done, but it's going to be tough because there are people out here that just don't want to see you shine. And that's okay. I don't see very much of it because I keep my head toward the sky. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So with that being said, shout out to the mighty LDBC. And we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?